Hey guys, welcome to part 10 of our 14-part series where I teach you super cheesy ways for remembering where countries are located on a map. This week we're studying North Africa, and there aren't that many countries, but I kind of struggle with this one in terms of like trying to find clever ways to remember which countries are which. This is a classic case of label the ones you know and then try to fill in the rest using, little strategies here and there. So, if we're going to label the ones that we know that jump out at us, I always start with Egypt. You should remember Egypt from sixth grade, right? You studied the ancient civilization there. The shape is pretty identifiable, so you should be good with that one. Then I always remember Tunisia up here, and I remember it because it's teeny tiny. So teeny tiny Tunisia. It just kind of gets lost in the rest of North Africa here. I also know Tunisia because that's where the Arab Spring was born. The Arab Spring was this wave of revolutions where people were overthrowing their governments in North Africa and the Middle East. And that all started right here in teeny tiny Tunisia. Okay. Then we jump over here. I always remember Morocco because it looks like a maraca. Oops, not sure if I spelled that right. Morocco looks like a maraca. Okay. I mean, look at the shape here. It's almost like this is that bulbous section where the beans or the rice is. And then this here looks like the handle. Okay. So Morocco looks like a maraca. And then I also know that this is Morocco because this feature right here is basically touching Spain. Okay. There's a very tiny strip of water that goes through there. So there you go. Then we jump down to other ones that just kind of stand out to me visually. I feel like this one looks like the flag of a mailbox. So if you play with the word mail, it's Mali. Mali looks like the flag of a mailbox. This so it stands out to you. All right. Let's make it fit. There we go. Perfect. This one right here, I always feel like it looks like a fish, right? Here's his tail, here's the head. Maybe he has a nose, I don't know. The underside of his belly, all right? And when I think of fish, I immediately think of Nemo. So Niger, like Nemo, right? It's the only one on our list with an N. So that's how I keep that one straight. Okay? Yeah, that is the only one with an N. So Niger looks like Nemo the fish. All right. Then we jump over eastward. Visually, again, this one I feel like when I see it, I just see a graduation cap. So we call this one Chad the Grad. Right? He's graduating from high school this year. And then we jump over to the east, and this is Sudan. So one of my students once said that she remembers it because her name is Sue, Chad's girlfriend. All right. And you may remember we talked about Sudan in here, and we talked about the Lost Boys, and we talked about the refugees that came out of Darfur. So this at one time, don't forget, was one Sudan, but after many, many, many years of civil war, they broke into Sudan and South Sudan. All right. So those are the ones that I always just remember. They just jump out to me. Okay. Coming up here, I'm left with one gigantic country. I always remember that that's Algeria just because, it's big, it stands out from the rest. You start with the letter A, you start with the biggest one. Also, if you really want to think about it, we've got Mali that looks like a mailbox. Well, up here, you've got male, almost like the gender. Morocco, Algeria, L for Libya, and then E for Egypt. So Male, male. And you also have male here. So then we're left with two, right? Mauritania and Western Sahara. Well, so that's easy. Western Sahara is the one farthest to the west. Okay. And you've got one left. So that has to be Mauritania. And that's it. So a little more choppy. It doesn't really flow very nicely, but I think if you practice some of these strategies, you should have no problem. Egypt just stands out to us. We've got teeny tiny Tunisia lost in the mix of everything. Morocco looks like a maraca. Mali looks like the flag of a mailbox. Right next to Mali is Niger because N, Nemo, it looks like a fish. This one looks like he's graduating. That's Chad the grad and his girlfriend Sue for Sudan. And then let's see, Algeria and Libya because we've got another male, Male. Okay. And then we've got two left over. So you've got Western Sahara farthest to the west and one left, Mauritania. So challenging, but there aren't too many. So I think if you study and you practice that map game, you'll be just fine. Come see me in resource if you need help. Bye.